Hi, this is Marty from Blue Lightning TV. I'm going to show you how to create a gold leaf logo or graphic on frosted glass. For your convenience, I provided this photo as well as this logo that you can download. Their links are in my video's description or project files. First, we'll create a frosted glass partition, and then we'll create and add the gold leaf logo onto it. Before we begin, let's convert the office photo into a smart object so we can modify it non-destructively, as well as replace it with a different photo if we like at any time. To do this, click the icon at the upper right of the Layers panel and click Convert to Smart Object. Make a copy of it by pressing Ctrl or Command J. Go to Filter and Filter Gallery. Open the Distort folder and click Glass. Make the distortion 6, the smoothness 1, the texture frosted, and the scaling 200%. Go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. Blur it 30 pixels. We want to reduce the intensity of the blur, but not the frosted glass filter. To do this, double-click the Blur's Blending option icon to open it. Reduce the opacity of the blur to 50%. Open the rectangular marquee tool and drag it over the image. To the right of the selection will ultimately show the frosted glass, while this section will show the original photo. Alt or Option-click the Layer Mask icon to make an inverted layer mask next to the top layer. This masks out the left side of the frosted glass, which reveals the original photo under it. A simple rule to remember about layer masks is white reveals and black conceals. Click the New Layer icon to make a new layer. We'll fill it with white, but before we do, let's check our foreground and background colors. If they aren't black and white, press D on your keyboard. If the colors are reversed, press X. Since white is our background color, press Ctrl or Command plus Delete to fill our empty layer with white. Change its blend mode to soft light. Place your cursor on the layer mask and press and hold Alt or Option as you drag a copy of the layer mask next to the white layer. Double-click an empty area of the middle layer to open its layer style window. Click Bevel and Emboss. These settings create a thin edge to our frosted glass partition. The style is inner bevel, the technique is chisel hard, and the depth is 100%. The direction is up, the size is 10 pixels, and the soften is 0 pixels. The angle is 180 degrees, and the altitude is 0 degrees. The gloss contour is linear. The highlight mode is color dodge, the color is white, and the opacity is 60%. The shadow mode is irrelevant since its opacity is 0%. Next, we'll add the logo. Open the file. If you're using a different black and white image, to ensure it's pure black and white, go to Image, Adjustments, and Threshold. Keep its default level of 128. We'll invert it by pressing Ctrl or Command I. Open the Channels panel. If you don't see it, go to Window and Channels. Ctrl or Command click the thumbnail of any of the channels to select its shape. Open back the Layers panel and click the Layer Mask icon to make a layer mask next to the logo. Make a new layer. In this layer, we'll create the base colors that will ultimately become gold leaf. Click the background color, and when the color picker opens, type into the hexadecimal field 87681E. Then click OK or press Enter or Return. Go to Filter, Render, and Clouds. Convert it into a smart object and go to Filter and Filter Gallery. It'll open the same glass filter and settings we used to create the frosted glass. We'll convert this into a smart object as well. We'll copy the layer mask and place it next to the top layer by again pressing and holding Alt or Option as we drag the copy. Next, we'll enlarge the frosted glass texture and color inside the logo. First, click the chain link icon between the layer and the layer mask to unlink them. This allows us to resize or reposition either of them independently of the other. Open the Transform tool by pressing Ctrl or Command T. At the top, make sure the chain link icon is active between the transform's width and height. This links them together. In either field, type in 170%. Then press Enter or Return twice. Click the Adjustment Layer icon and click Brightness Contrast. For the brightness, type in 40. Make a new layer and Ctrl or Command click the layer mask to select its shape. We'll fill it with white. Press Shift plus the F5 key at the top of your keyboard to open the Fill window. Open the Contents list and click White. Deselect it by pressing Ctrl or Command D. Change the blend mode to Overlay. Shift-click the bottom layer to make all the layers active and convert them into one smart object. Press V to open your Move tool and drag the logo onto the tab of the photo. Without releasing your mouse or pen, drag it down and release. Right now, the logo looks washed out because it's below the white layer in the Layers panel. To place it above the white layer, we can drag it manually, or we can press Ctrl or Command and the right bracket key on our keyboard. Drag it to the center of the frosted glass partition. To lighten the dark areas of the gold leaf, go to Image, Adjustments, and Shadows Highlights. Drag the shadows amount to 100%. We'll repeat these steps 2 more times to lighten the darkest tones sufficiently. Next, we'll add a soft outer glow surrounding the logo, which brings more attention to it. Double-click an empty area of the logo's layer to open its layer style window. Click Outer Glow. The blend mode is Linear Dodge, the opacity is 10%, and the noise is 20%. The color is white. The technique is softer, the spread is 0%, and the size is 250 pixels. The contour is linear, and the range is 50%. If you'd like to darken the gold leaf, which will give it more contrast against the lightness of the frosted glass, click the Adjustment Layer icon and click Levels. Adjustment layers affect all the layers below them in the Layers panel. However, if we wanted to affect just our logo and not the rest of our image, we'll need to clip it or restrict it to that layer. To do this, click the Clipping Mask icon or go to Layer and create Clipping Mask. Make the input shadows 30 and the input midtones 0.85. This is Marty from Blue Lightning TV. Thanks for watching.